What's up, friendos, and welcome in to Leading Off right here on Fantasy Pros. I'm Chris Welsh. That is Joe Orrico, and we got a packed show for you. We're talking bets. We've got big news. We've got some other interesting information and something a little bit important to talk about at the very top of the show. But before any of it, we want to make sure that you guys are locked into everything that is Fantasy Pros on the MLB side, because we've got giveaways. I want you, yes, you, right there. I want you to be the winner of a Billy Wagner autographed jersey. That one right there. It is so beautiful. You're listening on the podcast. Go to the video and look at it. It's gorgeous. Subscribe to the Fantasy Pros MLB YouTube channel. Comment on a video, and that is it. You're entered. Bing, bang, and boom. You can be the winner of that gorgeous Billy Wagner autographed jersey, giving it away at the end of the month. Do it today. Support the channels. Yes, you're watching live on Twitch, but go over to the YouTube or the YouTube audience. You know what to do. Get it going today. Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news. The nation's long wait has officially ended. Bubba Chandler is coming to the majors in a relief role. Joe Orrico, how excited are you for relief pitching Bubba Chandler?
I tweeted this myself about 20 minutes ago. I feel like Chris Farley in the Folgers SNL skit, because at first you're like, oh, he's coming up, and then he's going to pitch in the bullpen. It's really a buzzkill, man. I don't know what they're doing. I said it on, I forget if it was Monday's show or one of the shows last week, that I picked him up in my home league to stash him, hoping for something like this, but if he's pitching in relief, he's pretty useless to everybody. The thing that I'm kind of wondering about is they said he's going to make his debut on Friday, but it doesn't look like he's going to start on Friday necessarily because of all this bullpen stuff, so I don't even know what to make of it right now, man.
There's a lot. I think, yeah, there we go. We got the beautiful graphic. Bubba Chandler, from sources to official. I believe the Pirates put it out there. The Pirates are selecting the contract of Bubba Chandler. And you're right. They said Friday. And we're like, holy crap. You know, you gave us a date. It lines up. We're going to get the pitching going. And whomp. I think they're just planning that he's going to be in relief. Now, in the graphic, graphic via MLB.com. Sorry, having a stroke there. Like, why? Why? Yeah. I will. There's a lot of things to unpack here, because I tweeted this right before the show, and then things popped up, and then like I went away, and then right before the show started, so this is like 5 minutes before the show, and then I looked. I had a million notifications, and I'm like, what happened? I forgot I had just tweeted it. Every single response is, boo, Pirates, unbelievable. Can you even do this? What are we talking about? And then the big question is it even worth picking up? And maybe that person didn't see the note here. So let's just go through a little bit of this. This is obviously load management. You know, he's pitched an entire season in AAA, so no shocker that they're not comfortable with him getting a bunch of innings. There is no way that he can lose prospect eligibility. So I also kind of don't understand this. But maybe the early relief thing is only like a 1 or 2 off. And the reason I'm saying that is they have done their best job of kind of messing him up all year and getting him uncomfortable and inconsistent. Maybe this is like the early onset of this with relief is just about having him have 1 or 2 relief roles, and then they're going to let him jump into like a start or 2. Because over his last 3 starts in August so far, he's pitched on the 5th, the 10th, and the 16th. He has failed to go 5 innings in any of those starts. He has given up 10 earned runs in the month of August. He's walked 8. He struck out, man, my eyes are going. I struck out, what was that? 15 in there. That's not good. He's given up 6 or more hits in all 3 of those starts where he's failed to even go 5 innings. That reeks of a relief pitcher, Orrico. Like, that reeks of someone you don't want to throw into the fire right now. And the epidemic all season long has been him going deep into games. And I said that, and I'm comfortable doing this because I said this, or at least I'm comfortable being like, I told you so. I said this like 3 weeks ago or a month. I don't even care at this point if Bubba Chandler got called up. I care in the sense that it's fun, but I don't care from a fantasy perspective. I wouldn't even want to really start him in fantasy. So the question is would you pick him up? No. Would I have picked him up even if he was a starter? I'll be honest with you, not if my season was on the line, because he's not been able to go deep. He still has a walk problem. It's the Pirates. They can't get wins for Paul Skeens. So this is all great, fine, and dandy and fun, but he is not fantasy relevant. Do you feel any different? Even if it's in a long relief role that could lead to like a start or two, is it something you said you had him in a bunch of leagues? I have no interest in him.
I drafted him in TGFBI, and he's been on my bench for the entire season because I just was never able to actually drop him. So here's the thing that's really annoying. He would, if he were to start on Friday the way that it looked like he should have, it would have been versus the Rockies away from Coors, followed by St. Louis, who is also a pretty bad offense right now. So I don't really know like if it's confirmed or not what's happening on Friday, because the Pirates don't have a listed starter for Friday. I know there's all the talk about relief stuff. Maybe he does start on Friday, or maybe it's a piggyback role. So somebody comes in as an opener, Chandler pitches 4 or 5 innings after him, which would make it a lot easier for him to vulture wins, so I don't think that it's fully a write-off that he can't have value, but for right now, I think most players don't need to really be concerned. Like you mentioned, it's the Pirates. They're not going to win a ton of games. He has struggled recently. I think the struggles are due to him just being bored and fed up with how they've treated him, to be perfectly honest, but that doesn't mean that things are going to automatically be fixed against major league hitters right away. So I think in shallower leagues, you probably don't need to worry about this, but if you're in like a deeper league and you're desperate for pitching, I don't hate it. I don't hate waiting for a week or two just to see if he gets a spot in the rotation.
Yeah, and I do want to point out, this news literally came out 5 minutes before the show. So like things could change. We saw a report because all the big tweets are he's coming up and making his debut on Friday, which feels startery. Then there's a couple reports that say he is going to be in relief in a long relief role. That's also being thrown out there. So there's a multitude of things that could happen. Like you said, Bubba could start the game and only go 4 innings. They could have someone go the other 2 innings and then he could jump in. There's a lot of possibilities that we just don't really have the information here. The one counter to what all I just built up to say, like it is against the Rockies and it's not in Coors. Like those are 2 really good pieces of why it could be awesome. Would I be shocked if he pulled a Max Scherzer in his debut? Remember Max Scherzer with the Diamondbacks went like 4 innings, struck out 8. Like that's a possibility. But you know what the warts are. You know what some of the risks are in general. I also wanted to pull this up, and I put this on our show sheet just to let you guys kind of know what the stuff has looked like on average in AAA because we get the data. And year over year, he has a full increase on his fastball. He is still pumping that thing around 98. This was graded out as the best fastball in all the minor leagues by many people. Baseball America, I think, was the number 1 that had it. Fastball is up. He's throwing his slider a lot less, but he's throwing it harder. He threw it 86.8 last year in AAA. It's up to 88.2. But he's cut 8% usage down. He's thrown his changeup a little bit more, and he's throwing a tiny bit more of a curveball. Maybe all of this is a learning curve as he is throwing harder and altering his stuff right now. But it is still big, powerful stuff. And even if he just came out here and was throwing, 90-mile-an-hour sliders and 99-mile-an-hour fastballs to the Rockies, we know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to swing and whiff. That's what's going to happen. So The good and the bad, Bubba Chandler is officially here. Our nation's long-awaited call-up has happened, but will it amount to anything? I don't know. And I think people still feel like brick. Like, would you drop Jack Leiter for Bubba Chandler? I think there's still like a want for him to be out there. I have extremely low expectations for Bubba if you want to do it. But, maybe they do give us a little bit more of a peek and treat this like a start. I think strikeouts are high potential, but I think Bubba's a dude where he gets into the 3rd inning and things are just going to fall apart. Like if I had to give you a line, I would say he goes 3 innings, he strikes out 5 and he walks 3 and he probably gives up 3 earned runs. Like that's what I feel like we're going to get out of Bubba. But you know what? We thought Mizorowski might be more relief when he got first called up and he looked absolutely elite, Orrico. So
yeah,
there you go. It is officially ended.
The only thing for me with they're going to take it easy with the innings. He's had 100 innings for the year. He was at 119 last year. There's no reason he couldn't make 5 or 6 starts and go 5 innings. There's no need to do this. They're doing this because of whatever reason, but it's not like, oh, well, he's at the tippy top of innings. He can't go another single inning or else he's like, he has a little bit of room here. He could go 25, 30 innings without risking injury. At least I think. I'm far from a doctor, but he's at 100 innings for the year. It doesn't.
Well, I don't think it's an injury necessarily issue. I think it's he has not been good and not been the guy. So,
But like, who are they
I don't know.
rolling out there? Braxton Ashcraft, Mike Burrows, like they only have 4 starters listed in their current rotation right now, which is the funniest thing for me. It's like you have space for a 5th starter. Nope. Bubba, you're pitching in the 7th inning. It's pretty funny stuff.
Yeah, well, there you go. Bubba Chandler, we can take that off here. Bubba Chandler coming to the majors and maybe to a team near you if you're willing to make the risk. Some big boy updates. Aaron Judge 2 for 5, hit his 40th home run of the season. Yankees also just put it on, by the way. Giancarlo Stanton homered twice. Jose Caballero homered twice. Jose Caballero has been a sneaky fantasy guy all season. I remember a long time ago on this show, we talked about picking him. I think it might have been over some pretty relevant players. I think one of them was like, someone was so sick of Ozzy Albies, and it was like, listen, Caballero's stealing all these bases, but Caballero's still going, Joe.
39 steals, only 4 homers, but this is exactly what you thought you were getting when you drafted him, if you did draft him, right? Because last year, 44 stolen bases, 9 homers. He's going to fall short in the homers, but he's got the batting average up ever so slightly. He's totally serviceable for what he does. He's just free stolen bases that you could have got the whole year off the waiver wire pretty much. I'm not looking at his roster rates for Yahoo and all that, but it's got to be like 15%. If you need steals, he's still a decent pickup, I think.
100%. All right. Other big boy stuff. Shohei Ohtani 1 for 5 with another homer. I believe that was 44. So we have Judge at 40, Ohtani at 44. What is it? Cal is at 47 and Schwarber is at 44. Does that sound right? Is that where the current race is?
Let me pull it up real quick. 47 for Raleigh, 44 and 44. Schwarber and Ohtani, okay. 40 for Judge, and Eugenio at 38.
Eugenio. Oh, the power kind of depressed when he went to Seattle. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy that it wasn't like a big, awesome offensive boon? If only we knew. Big pitching performances. Tarik Skubal bounced back off of what was like a little and had a 10 strikeout performance. I kind of want ans because if you know, I have my season-long Garrett Crochet leading the league in strikeout bet. And I believe after Skubal's last game into Crochet's next, he had like a 5 or 6 strikeout lead. And now that would be no lead because Tarik Skubal just had 10. So these two were just like, boom, boom, boom. They're battling it back and forth, and I need Skubal to take a rest because Zach Wheeler is now out of that market. But Tarik Skubal continues to do it and owns the AL Cy Young. In the AL, yes. In the NL, Chris Sanchez struck out 12, 6 1/3, 2-run ball on Tuesday. The only thing I wanted to say, I got asked this question on a CBS hit that I did, and they said, is Paul Skeens deserving of the Cy Young? And I was like, I'm not going to say no, because like I have a hard time, as I've said a long time ago, that a guy that has 9 wins or whatever, he has 7 right now, winning the Cy Young is weird. But also pointing out, Chris Sanchez at that time, this was like 3 days ago, was within half of a point of WAR of Paul Skeens. And if you looked at Sierra or XFIP, Sanchez was better than because everyone's like, oh, well, Skeens is the da-da-da-da-da. It's like, he's got the 2 point whatever ERA. Dude, Chris Sanchez had a better Sierra than him. Strikeouts, walks, it's all the same. He has way more wins. There is a case that Chris Sanchez should be given this. He just won't. Like, I feel like absolutely confident in that he will not get this. But I really do think this award should be way closer because now that Wheeler's out, it was like Skeens minus 400. Sanchez was around 3-1. And then the next closest was Matthew Boyd at like 20-1. Orrico.
Matthew Boyd, great season, but Matthew Boyd, like it's a 2-man race essentially is what they're telling you with that. But it's pretty much a 1-man race, I think. It should be a lot closer. Like you mentioned, every metric between them is almost exactly the same. The Sierra 306 versus 316. The strikeout rate 26.6, 28.8. Skeens has him slightly beat there, and he has him slightly beat with the whip. Excuse me, at 0.96. Like that sub-1 whip might be what gets it done. But then the voters might look and say, well, Skeens has 7 wins. I don't think the wins should even factor into it a little bit. I think they're completely irrelevant in today's game in terms of evaluating a pitcher, but a lot of the voters are still the old school crowd, and they are going to look and see, well, he has 8 wins, so maybe he doesn't get it. I don't have a really strong feel on who is more deserving. I think that if it goes to either of them, I'd be totally fine with it, but it's going to go to Skeens.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying because, like, the win. I mean, that's why Sierra is interesting. You know, skills independent ERA. Like if you're looking at wins specifically, it's like that guy doesn't necessarily have them in control. But at the same token, like I feel like we give a plus to a player that has a bunch of, I mean, Freddie Peralta has 15 wins. He should probably get some consideration into this as well. I think it should all be considered. I don't think that's why, like, I'm not being dismissive that Paul Skeens doesn't deserve it. But when someone's like, is he the no doubt and you're comfortable with it? It's like, I don't know, man. Like if you give me, like, there's got to be some differentiating factor. And if you look and you go, well, this guy played on a absolute garbage team. He got 9 wins. And then you come over here to this guy that has like a better Sierra, baseline stats that are right there on a team that is going to make a playoff run. They were critical to it. And the guy's like 18 wins. Like, I think you can piece those things together. And I don't think it'd be a travesty if a guy like Chris Sanchez won it over Paul Skeens. I mean, you think people are going to be riding in the streets like, oh, get rid of wins because Skeens didn't win it? Like, no, I don't think so. Pirates suck.
Pirates suck. I have it in my bio on Twitter how much I love Cristopher Sanchez. I put that in there a few months ago. Like I absolutely love the guy. When I look at wins though, like as a piece of the evaluation, as like the 6th or 7th thing you look at, I'm totally cool with that. But Paul Skeens has as many wins this year as Mitchell Parker, who has been statistically probably the worst pitcher in baseball. Like Brandon Pfaadt has almost double the amount of wins as Paul Skeens. And when I look at something like that, it's like, should we really even look at this at all? That's kind of where I'm coming from.
Yeah, well, I mean, also, I mean, the Mitchell Parker things, but Brandon Pfaadt, well, I was about to say that Brandon Pfaadt played on a team that was kind of winners, but they're not. There's a bunch of crybabies and stuff like that outside of Corbin Carroll. By the way, we are going to hit your guys. I know you guys are dropping some questions after we get through this headline news. We are going to get to them, and we'll even start. Our boy Houdat dropped some bits in the channel, and that is going to get you kind of front of the line access. So we are going to answer a few questions here in a minute. So we'll plow through a couple of these other things. Hunter Greene, 3 runs, 12 strikeouts, and 6 1/3. No decision against the Angels. Very nice performance, picking right back up. Nate Lowe, who signed with the Red Sox, made an impression. Game-tying homer in the 9th inning. That, to me, by the way, should kill any of the, like, the password playing first base. Like, I think they found a nice little home for Nate Lowe. Also, in the department of trade deadline making changes, we've talked about this a little bit, but I wanted to note Bryan Abreu worked a scoreless inning against the Tigers on Tuesday and got the save. So we were kind of battling between like who's the guy. Bryan Abreu. Any thoughts on Abreu or Nate Lowe you want to drop?
Nate Lowe for me is more of a 15 teamer, or I mean, if you're in an AL only league for sure, but I don't know that he's like a 10 or a 12 team standard league guy. If you have corner infield spots, deeper rosters, then I think that he really works. And Bryan Abreu, if you need saves, where would you put him? I know it's kind of late in the year to do rankings, but he's like a top 15 closer, something like that, top 12, top 15, considering the team context. So he should be rostered pretty much by anybody who needs saves.
Yeah, ish. I'm not sure. Top 12 seems a little aggressive. Like I'm still not at the level where like, I'm like, oh, he's going to get every single save and he'll be amazing and stuff like that. Like 15 area. Cause there's a lot of questions at the bottom. A lot of Diamondbacks are embarrassing. Like Andrew Saalfrank, Andrew Saalfrank has 2 saves. He's the current active leader in saves that is on the roster. So an active pitcher, he has the most saves, which is crazy. So, I don't know. This just stood out to me when I saw this line, and I just want to get your take on it. So Bobby Witt, 1 for 4, 2-run homer last night. Good EV stuff, blah, blah, blah. Witt now, 291, 350, 18 homers, 32 stolen bases. Have we talked about Bobby Witt once this entire season? I feel like this has been the Bobby Witt take a seat season. Quietly still solid. I mean, he's projecting out that could be a 20. If he steals a little bit more towards the end, he could pull a 20-40 season out of his hat. Respectable average out there. I just wanted to mention, I don't feel like I've mentioned Bobby Witt like literally once outside of maybe picking him for a homer or two this season. It is just the most quiet Bobby Witt season, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think it's because the team has been so miserable that there hasn't really been a lot of reason to talk about Kansas City. And the fact that as great as he's been, he definitely hasn't been as good as last season. He had more than 10 wins on FanGraphs last year, a 10.5 win season. Now, this year he's going to have a 7+ win season, which is still great. But I feel like the reason he's not talked about as much is because, and as stupid as it's going to say, he's been maybe a touch disappointing. Now, he's still a first-round value. He is the 13th ranked player overall, but I feel like it's just because we've had a lot of PCA talk, a lot of Cal Raleigh talk. Recently, it's been like Andrew Vaughn's and the Collins of the world. There's always just been somebody who's been more popular on a given day, but you're right. He doesn't get enough due. He's still a first-round player this season, pretty handily.
Dude, it's hilarious, too. It's like, oh, it's like quietly. If you, I know you're just like arbitrarily saying it, but it's like if we're like, oh, it's kind of a disappointing season. Dude's hitting 291. Like the only thing that's actually disappointing, like truly disappointing, is the home run output. 32 homers last year, 30 homers the previous year. He's at 18. He could have a big power output and get close. But yeah, I mean, like he is going to have more stolen bases this year than last year. His average is down 40 points, but that's from 332 to 291. His OBP is down. Look at the profile. Everything still looks pretty slick. Like he is down slightly barrel, slightly hard hit. He's striking out a tiny bit more, but you know, you take out just some of those nitpicky stuff, like, you know, he's still there. He's still 98% of who he is. And I just laugh because there are these players that float out there for us guys that are like super awesome. And then we're like, oh, this is kind of disappointing. But then you look at the line and you're like, for any other player, this would be amazing. And someone made me laugh in here. We've literally talked about more about Bubba Chandler than we have Bobby Witt this year. That's how quiet it's been. He's
Easily
completely been, non-existent through this entire thing. The only other on the big notes I wanted to throw at you, Corbin Carroll, this just got me going on. I know I'm a Diamondback fan, blah, blah, blah. 2 triples last night. RBI, had a steal. Great. Diamondbacks win. Not what I necessarily cared about. But I don't know if people pay attention to the triples. I believe he's the active leader this season. He has the most triples of any. And it just got me thinking that what was the most triples that are out there in a season? Like, how important is that stat? And I looked all time. There's like some dude from like the 1800s that got 28 triples in a season. That was the most in a single season. Since 1950, there is, or so if you do 1950 and beyond, one player, Curtis Granderson, had the most, and it was 23. So 23 triples in a season by Curtis Granderson in 2007 was the most. And Corbin Carroll is finding other ways. He's having career high in homers. And then I wanted to look at just career. Can you guess how many triples the best in baseball, who has the most? I'm not asking the name because it's some crazy person, but what is the number of the most triples a person has had in baseball?
I actually didn't see this on the sheet. So,
you already looked at the sheet?
No, I didn't. I haven't
okay.
Seen the sheet. I saw the Corbin Carroll part of it, but I didn't read to the bottom. All-time record for triples, maybe like 400, 350, 400.
Okay, it's pretty close. And by the way, absolutely, it's not even a Welshism. I just could not phrase that properly whatsoever. So apologies. 309 is the most triples any player has had in baseball. And I did find number 2 very interesting. Ty Cobb was number 2 with most career triples, 295. And what's so funny about it is Corbin Carroll looks like this incredible, like, oh my God, look at him. He's hitting all the, but like if he plays a 12-year career, the dude is like lining out to have 120 or something like that. Like he has 40 career over 4 seasons triples. So that is a pretty, I think, just wild stat in general as far as that goes. And I was just thinking about it because, it's been lined out everywhere. All right, let's answer some questions. And let's start with our boy, Houdat. Fellas, I need help. And shout out to Houdat, by the way, for using some bits that are out there. You can do that. We've also had Reese Schmitty just followed up on the stream, which we appreciate. And I think we had some others that I've lost. The Gig followed. So shout to you guys that are rocking with us. Which 2 pitchers should I start today? JP Sears, Schlittler, Parker Messick. I'm going to lose ERA, so looking for strikeouts. Quality starts, wins is a secondary. And then you can see Cheerwall. Well, Schlittler has to be number 1. If we're like, we want quality starts and wins, but we care about strikeouts, I think we got to put Schlittler in there. Executive decision. Now for you, is it Sears or is it going to be Messick up against the Diamondbacks?
So every day, one of the things I do on Patreon is I rank every starting pitcher for the day. And Cam Schlittler, I have at 8, JP Sears at 13, and I have Messick at 17. And the reason that I have Sears above Messick is just because how terrible San Francisco is against left-handed pitchers. Even Nestor Cortez was able to have a decent start against them. It wasn't amazing, but he got by. And I think I'd have to go that route, even though Sears is unremarkable. It's Messick's first career start, and you just never really know. So I think Sears is a safer option.
I'm with you. I'm gonna roll that. Let's go to another one. Should I drop Andrew Vaughn for Giancarlo Stanton?
I couldn't drop Vaughn right now, man. He's like prime Pujols right now. I couldn't do it. Stanton should probably be picked up, but there's got to be another drop than Vaughn, I feel like, unless it's a super shallow league. But in that case, I don't think I could do it. Like, I don't really trust Stanton. He had to sit, 2 or 3 consecutive games because of playing the field, and then they were like, I just don't really buy it with Stanton. With Vaughn, it does seem pretty legit on a great offense, so I have to stick with him.
How many games in the month of August do you think Andrew Vaughn has had a hit? And there's like, let's call it like, it looks like, I mean, what is it, 20th? So probably like 18 games.
I'd say like 15.
I wanted to phrase it that way because only 2 games the entire month he has not had a hit. That's how ridiculous Andrew Vaughn has been. He has just been, I mean, maybe you can argue like, where is the big impact? In the month of August, he's only had 4 multi-hit games, but I don't know how you drop Andrew Vaughn right now. So Stanton's fine, everything like that. But yeah, you said it well. Do we trust Mizorowski against the Cubs today? I do not. If you were in the situation, who is it who that was, where it was like, I want strikeouts and then everything else is secondary? Yes. Overall, no. I don't. He didn't look good on that last one. I think this is the time of year Cubs are tough. I mean, I guess they're not as tough when Kyle Tucker and PCA stink, but I don't have high end trust for it. So, if you're worried about your ratios and stuff like that, Mizorowski is the type of player that could ruin your ratios, but also he could clearly carry your strikeouts.
He could. I'm a little more open to starting him, and the main reason is that looking back over the last 3 weeks, I really like to look at 3-week sample sizes. The Cubs have the second worst offense in the league in that time, and I think a lot of it does tie to Tucker and to PCA not performing. So I'd be a little more open to it.
All right, this is a big one, but essentially comes down to from, what is this, Afusa? Would you drop Colson Montgomery in a playoff matchup? Considering Wynn, Smith, Volpe, Otto Lopez, Rojas, Crawford, those are all the guys that are out there, and they have 5 transactions a week to stream for starting pitchers. So it's really like do you trust Colson Montgomery to hold through, or are you willing to cut him if Volpe, Mason Wynn are out there? And I kind of think, yeah, because unfortunately, as much as I kind of, I've defended Montgomery in the power department, he's a little bit of a one-trick pony. Like, he doesn't help you greatly in batting average, that I have no issue cutting him and moving on from those other guys. Like, Wynn isn't going to be as loud as counting stats, but probably better batting average. Volpe, I would be fine with. I think given those options, even Crawford, I rolled out Crawford some points this year. You can definitely cut Colson Montgomery if you need to get a more stable shortstop.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go with Wynn. Stole a couple bases yesterday. Hope to see that continue. Montgomery's battling an injury right now, and the last week he has kind of come back down to earth, so I don't have any problem moving on.
Would you trade Judge, Bregman for J-Ram? They got Churio, Wood, and J-Rod in a 10-team roto, 10 keepers.
So in that situation, you have to bench one of these guys every day, then maybe, but you're giving up too much value-wise. Judge is like the number one. Judge is like the number one, at worst, the number 2 player.
I mean, Judge alone should get you J-Ram. You shouldn't have to also give up Bregman, and it's a keeper. So no, I think that's a little bit too much. Yanir Diaz, Ben Rice, or Basayo?
I'm going Ben Rice, man. His data is eye-popping. You'd think you were looking at like Ohtani, and I'm not even exaggerating. If you look at
it's held the whole year.
Yeah. It's been fantastic. Like, and the fact that he's disappointed this year means there's going to be a really nice price on him next season. 17% barrel, 55 hard hit. Like, with catcher eligibility, yes, please.
We'll do a couple more here. with Riley not coming back anytime soon, is it okay to drop him for Noelvi Marte? We're in drop season, guys. We are in the range where, like, if you have to make a tough decision, you can. If you have IL spots, it's great to try to work it that way. But like, you don't have time. You can't afford it. Especially guys that have this ambiguous, like the Wheeler stuff, like Wheeler would be like, they're like, oh, hopefully he could da-da-da. And it's just like, nah, you can cut bait on it. So yeah, I think you can. I don't love doing it, but I think you can.
I don't love it either. I got a couple leagues where I need Riley, but Marte is what, a 133 WRC plus. He's stealing, he's hitting homers, he's not striking out. Last year he had a 31% strikeout rate. This year it's down at 19%. He's cut down on the swinging strikes, he's cut down on the chases. I'm in on Marte. I'm in on Marte.
Like wonky, we're just like, let it go, let him go. They're not gonna help you anymore. Let him go. All right, I won't do anymore. Sorry. All right, let's do one more, and then let's move on. Should I keep Sanchez in the 14th, Ryan in the 13th, Neto in the 12th, and let Acuna go back in the player pool for round 3? So drop a round 3 Acuna for any of those guys? No.
Round 3 Acuna is beautiful,
without question. If I was keeping one of those others, it would probably be Sanchez. Neto's amazing too. Neto might deserve it at 12, but I mean, Cy Young, like top 5 pitcher Sanchez. I don't know.
I think Joe Ryan and Sanchez, like, they're very close in terms of overall value, but the answer is Acuna.
Exactly. All right, we might try to hit a few more questions, so feel free to roll it in. Todd said, because I know Let It Go, I clearly yes, I have a daughter. So we went through the whole Frozen phase, so we know the whole thing, whole kit and caboodle. Little rookie Lookie, just wanted to throw this one out here. Jacob Wilson homered on Tuesday in his 3rd game with AAA Las Vegas. Very, very good environment for hitting. Very good for Jacob Wilson, and he should be back very soon. So I know people are kind of looming on that one. Fun fact. Remember that time where I was like, hey, everybody, I'm so smart. You could drop Jerks and Profar for Jacob Marcy. It's super easy. It's no issue. Just do it. Jerks and Profar homered in his 3rd consecutive day, 4th time in 3 days. And I believe the question was, hey, Profar's available. Can I drop Marcy for him? Hey, listen, Marcy's still incredible, but Profar, this is the Jordan meme where he's like, and then I took it personal. And he just went absolutely ballistic.
Yeah, so I'm taking my L. I'm taking my L. Now, I think I'm still taking Marcy between them, funnily enough.
I am too. I'm still going Marcy. I'm not going to do this thing, but like, I see you, Profar. I see you.
But I poo-pooed Profar constantly throughout the whole suspension, saying this guy stinks, 32 years old. He was only good because of PEDs. And maybe he was, but maybe there's still some magic in there, because this year and last year, the only 2 really, truly great seasons he's ever had, like 135 WRC plus this year, 10-6 in 46 games. He's been great. All that being said, like, I went over Jacob Marcy's underlying data the other day. It's beautiful. It makes you want to cry. It's so beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I have to go with him. I have to go with Marcy.
Yeah. And Profar stinks. It absolutely stinks. But yeah, he's been good. August, he's hitting 294. Here's a fun fact. 7 of his 10 homers have come this month. So this is either, the continuation of something awesome, or this is just a nice little hot streak. I still love Marcy here, but I just thought it was funny. As soon as I said that, I'm like, hey, Profar, you don't need him. And then just like, bang, bang, boom. It's crazy. 3 up and 3 down. Up. David Peterson tossed 8 innings, 1 run ball, striking out 10 against the Nationals. Joe somewhere is screaming happily. George Springer with a 2 for 4 and a combo meal. Love that. And Kyle Teel, 2 for 5 with a double homer and 4 RBIs. Kyle Teel has been pretty dang good in the back half of the year. He is going to be a sneaky catcher next season. Maybe even floats around, like, I don't know if it's like going to be top 12, but I think he's going to like be right on the edge of a 15-team roto starter.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah. I mean, he's homered in back-to-back games now. He's at a 274 average with just shy of an 800 OPS. He's going to chip in a couple of stolen bases. The White Sox are not a great lineup. No one's ever going to tell you that, but they're not quite as awful as they were before. So there is some hope here. There's definitely some hope that he can, contribute in the counting stats. And I think next year, too early to do positional rankings, but yeah, top 15 catcher sounds about right.
On the downs, Shane Baz allowed 6 earned runs, 7 hits over 3 and against the Yankees. I feel bad too. I saw there's that video of, I don't know if you saw it, Eno had a video of Baz showing his knuckle curve and just breaking it all down. And I'm like watching that. And then you see that line and you're like, maybe try a different grip. Maybe try something else, because it's not working right now. Also, Mitch Keller allowed 5 earned runs, 7 hits, 3 walks over 3 1/3 against your Jays. No bueno. And Jorge Polanco, golden sombrero. So close. Cinco Stinko. That's what we're looking for. Bunch of injuries. Jacob deGrom, not going to make his scheduled start on Wednesday. The Rangers are opting to rest him as he's battling some shoulder fatigue, but not going on the IL. Best case scenario. Also going to point out, we have far surpassed any of the like, I told you so's. Usually I get smacked with this because I'm the guy that's like, listen, if you are an incredible talent, but you get injured, like I can't help but be around you. If you have shown a decline in skill set and injured, I'm out. Jacob deGrom, I've always been a defender of, just simply and obviously you, Joe, this year, but like we're beyond the point where anybody gets to tell I told you so, because he has played a significant portion of this season. And you love this. I love this management. This is exactly what you want. So just pointing it out, he's going to miss a start. Doesn't look like it's anything acritical, though.
I selfishly kind of wish they did this a little bit earlier in the year because I don't want to have to deal with this for head-to-head playoffs. I don't think anybody does, but this is why you play Roto. I don't know how to feel about my take on Jacob deGrom because I was very public about it. He was my number one starting pitcher. I was called every slur in the book because of that, and I was wrong. Like, he's not the number one starting pitcher.
Yeah.
I thought the strikeouts would be higher than that for sure, but nobody who drafted Jacob deGrom on my advice is going to say, couldn't believe I listened to Orrico this year. How could he? 140 innings of a 2.73 ERA and a sub-1 whip. He's been phenomenal. I just hope we get 3 or 4 more starts in the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, this is one of those, like, because you decided to be like, he's the number one, I think you get an L, but like in the same token, you deserve your dubs because you were defending and like he was healthy the whole season. And guess what? He was incredible. So had you just been a little bit lighter about it and been like, hey, listen, deGrom is a no doubt top 5. He's a great pick. We'd be throwing a parade for you right now. But you know, you're number one and you're doubling down on the Cy Young stuff is what kind of hurts you, but he's been awesome.
Yeah, I thought if the strikeout rate was like 5 points higher, I think it would have been a lot closer. I think he would have been in that Crochet and Skubal conversation, but at this point, that ship has long sailed.
Blatty out again of the lineup on Wednesday due to hamstring inflammation where he was doing the splits. He's missed a couple games, but not placed on the IL yet, which is good. Ali Rutschman scratched on Tuesday with some abdominal discomfort. Is that going to lead to Basayo getting playing a little catch? Like he's just been DH. I don't know if they're going to, they do not want him to. I was actually talking with our boy Worm. Shout out to Wormley's birthday yesterday. He's an Orioles fan after we did our big fantasy fest on the football side. And me and him were talking about Basayo. And I was like, buddy, they hate Basayo as a catcher. He just needs to move to first, be a DH. They don't want to play him there. But like when Adley misses time like this, I wonder if there's an opportunity. So I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I mean, what else are they going to do? You know,
well, they play everybody else. The same thing they did for 3 months by calling up 12 different catchers that weren't Basayo. They do not want him to catch. So I don't know.
Fair point.
We mentioned Austin Riley felt soreness during a workout on Tuesday and is not expected to be activated from the IL anytime soon. Jordan Westburg had to be removed from Monday's game with a sore ankle and was held out. So that's not great. We don't know if there's going to be an IL stint, but watch it. Kyle Bradish is going to make his return to the Orioles next week in their series against the Red Sox. Probably going to try to avoid, but Bradish is the type of guy that he might be good enough. Just first start back is a little Nick Lodolo could return as soon as Monday for the Reds if his bullpen session goes well today. Lance McCullers is going to return for the Astros on Friday night against the Orioles. So there's some strikeouts for you. Jackson Merrill missed his second consecutive game on Tuesday after tweaking his left ankle. I mean, top 5 disappointments in fantasy this year. Is Merrill on that list, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I know there have been some injuries.
We'd have to like actively go through who, and if you guys are in the chat, you could drop it. We'd have to like look, but I have to say like Merrill is some version of top 5, just not even thinking about who all the dudes are.
He has 1 steal on 3 attempts, like 91 games. Sure. Like part of it is the volume, but 9 homers, 42 runs, hitting 260, which isn't going to kill you, but this has been pretty ugly. He's right up there for biggest bust. I mean, Jordan, it depends on if you want to factor in injury busts or just like performance related busts.
I usually don't like, I kind of want to take out injuries when I think about it. Like I want to, you just do from a performance standpoint, like who are the guys that just kind of disappeared and like Lawrence Butler, I think is a bust, but Merrill's a bigger bust.
Mookie is a bust for sure.
Mookie, yeah, you know what? Mookie is a bust. There's probably some pitchers we're not thinking of on the high end right now. But like I said, if we went through it, you guys feel free. Either it's live or on the YouTube. Drop who are some of the biggest busts that we're not thinking of. I don't know if Merrill's number 1, but no doubt he's on the top 5. Dylan Cease, that's a pretty good name as well. So Zach Gallen. Yeah, whoops, we're doing it at the same time there, Callie. Gallen's another one. All right, a couple other things. Jackson Chourio is expected to begin his rehab assignment on Friday, so good news. Shane Bieber's going to be activated by the Blue Jays ahead of his debut with the team on Friday in Miami. Will you be starting Shane Bieber in that first start?
I unfortunately don't have even a single share of Shane Bieber, and the way
Theoretical start.
Yeah, I think I would. I think I would at the end of the day. Miami has been better as of late, like a league average offense over the last few weeks, but they also lost Kyle Stowers. So that makes him a lot more palatable of a matchup. Bieber has looked really good in his rehab. The really, really unfortunate news is that, I don't know if you saw this, Welsh, but Eric Lauer going to the bullpen, which stinks. But
ooh, no, I missed that.
That's the corresponding move for the Blue Jays, unfortunately.
Hate that. Absolutely hate that, actually. That's Lauer's just been so good, but, you know, there's a management thing in there. Last on the injuries, also Francisco Alvarez placed back on the 10-day IL with a sprained right thumb. Will be reevaluated in 10 to 14 days. Drop him for Kyle Teel. Go do that if it's floating out there for you. No Francisco Alvarez. But we do have some best bets. Let's do some best bets for August 20th here. Joe Rico, why don't you kick us off here? You got some beautiful looking plus money plays. So let's hear what you're betting here for Wednesday on the card.
Yeah, we're going with the trio of strikeout overs, and they're all the same number. They're all plus money. Shohei Ohtani, we hit this one last time. The books are still giving you a relatively low number at plus money against the Colorado Rockies of all teams. He has been consistently hitting this over in the last few starts, even in 4 innings. I don't worry about this at all. Shohei going over 5.5. That one is my favorite, without a doubt. Kodai Senga, this one is also pretty appealing, a plus 112, over 5.5 strikeouts. He had 7 in his last start, and he gets to face the Washington Nationals, who are, you know, they're not the worst offense in baseball, but they're certainly up there. And in terms of strikeouts, they are a bottom 5 team over the last 3 weeks as well. So something I'm targeting there. And then Drew Rasmussen, this one comes against the Yankees, who are also a bottom 10 strikeout team over the last few weeks. And I don't know if we've given Drew Rasmussen enough flowers on this show, Welsh, because he has been one of the best starting pitchers all season long.
He's been pretty great. All right, my bets here. I went and took a look over on the Betting Pros MLB prop cheat sheet, where I've told you guys we've got some new markets available, and this one jumped out to me. This was the number 1 plus money play for hits, run, RBI, and it was Nick Kurtz. There was the number 1 overall play is a wild, like Shohei Ohtani in Colorado, which is like minus 200 for 2.5 hits, runs, and RBI over. It's a crazy number, but you can get 1.5. So you need 2 combo of hits, runs, or RBI from Nick Kurtz going up against Bailey Ober. I love that play, and it's plus 106. But my favorite play is what we see a couple people talking in the chat is Hurston Waldrep. I love this play today. The number is actually at 5, but it's minus. It's like minus. DK was like minus 140 something, 145 for 5 strikeouts. I'm playing it at 6 for plus 150. He has hit these in both of his last 2 starts. He's going up against the White Sox. His splitter's been devastating. He's found consistency and rhythm. So I am going for the big strikeout numbers against the White Sox today, and I really like that one. And then on the Corbin Carroll run here, I'm going to go over 1.5 total bases today, going up against a rookie in Parker Messick. He's been hitting this bad boy, so I really like this play. So some total bases, some strikeouts, some hit runs, and RBIs, and you guys can, whether you're tracking or doing some analysis with your bets, you can do it with the Betting Pros app. Go and download that today. Even if you just get the app itself, and you just use it to track your bets. We got the calendar views. It's actually really cool. You'll get stats there. But if you want access to all the premium stuff, like when we're going and doing the analysis, like on the prop cheat sheet, you can use the promo code leading off and get a 7-day free trial at Betting Pros. So do that today as well. Go over to our partners over at FanDuel. Use our code, our URL, fantasypros.com/leading off, where you can bet $5, win $250 if your first bet hits. Go and do that today with FanDuel. Home run board. Let's see what it looks like. We were 50 markers last time. Now we have 2. Positive Grouch at 53, Whips at 50. Those are your leaders with like a little over a month left to go. That still gives some opportunity for our boy Bees and George, who both have 48. Fisher King at 47. Then it kind of drops off. Wonky is at 40. Wonky is the champion of homers here at Fantasy Pros for sure. But Orrico, what are you going to do? We're just lowly sitting, not on the board, never going to be there. Especially you. I have no chance either. But what do you got for today? Only you, because you just didn't take part in it. I think if you been doing this all season, you would be fighting up there really good. You'd be doing a really good job with it.
2026, I'm going to be back with a vengeance. We are going to hit the ground running in 2026. But we'll finish 2025 on a strong note. Mr. Shohei Ohtani. I'm taking him for the strikeout overs. I'm taking him for the home run as well. He's facing Tanner Gordon, who has a sparkling 7.98 ERA. That one does feel pretty easy. Against the Rockies at Coors Field, I think it's going to be Shohei, at least for one tonight. Let's get the strikeout overs and a dinger on the board.
We're going to get you more here. I got to get mine over Joe. Joe's got an in perpetuity thing, which is just that kind of kills right now. He's rocking with Cal Raleigh. Today, I'm going to go with Nick Kurtz. I'm going to rock with Nick Kurtz here for just a tiny bit. I've got him on the hit run and RBI. I like the matchup with him and Bailey Ober. So give me Nick Kurtz and let me get to the 30 marker and get past Joe, please. That is what we are looking to do. Hey, shout out to everybody that jumped in. Ricky Stanicky with the follow. We see Kelby Season with the follow. So shout out to all you guys. We had a couple of our friends in here cheering some bits for questions. We very much appreciate that. Coming up on Friday, we got no show on Thursday. Coming up on Friday is Joe Orrico and Casey Bubba. And then Monday, it's me and Bubba. Orrico is out, so you get a new combination. So make sure you guys are locked in there. You're subscribed on the YouTube, because if you can't watch live, you can catch the show like within the hour of it airing live. So youtube.com/FantasyPros MLB. Make sure you are subscribed. Also on the podcast, and come over and hang out with us on the Twitch. Why would you not? Twitch.tv/FantasyPros. We just had the big Fantasy Fest, and Bogman and I last night did a crazy after party draft where we went kind of nuts. If you guys are going to rewatch it, if you're into the football, which speaking of, I got to go because I got a company Fantasy Pros draft in about 13 minutes. So we out. For Joe Orrico, I'm Chris Welsh. Hat tip to Seth and Callie. We're out of here. Peace. Have a great one.
You know why you and Bubba get to do the show? Because
Why?
I got tickets to the Oasis concert reunion, and I'm going to be drinking beers that night, baby.
Ooh, Oasis.
You an Oasis fan?
Nah, I couldn't name a song.
Wonderwall?
Oh, one. Yeah. Actually, I was about to do Tenacious D. Wonder